sacred ground. You are heard right now. Your voice matters. This is sacred ground. You are heard right here, right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to You Are Heard podcast, where your voice matters. I have an amazing guest here with me today, and he is going to share his story. His story is so phenomenal. And I remember when I first met him, especially someone that is a Black man, the stories that he's told me, the things that he's overcome, I said the world needs to hear this, right? Because you're living within your purpose. And I want to introduce SirJDaBarber.
How y'all doing? What's going on? Good afternoon. Or is it still morning? Good morning, y'all.
Yes,
Good morning. How y'all
good morning.
doing? I appreciate
that.
But
I don't know when this episode is going to air. Most likely, I'll probably air it in the morning.
It's all good. Salutations.
Yes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
You're doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
You're doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
Well,
I appreciate that.
One thing that I know about you is that, every time you come into a room, you bring joy into the space, and you have such positive energy. And, I feel like the world is missing that.
Yeah, I think the world needs more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, one.
Yes.
Two, I am that way because like my parents is like that. My father especially, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Very optimistic, very positive. No matter what's going on, that man and my people, they're just like, all right, well, we're gonna make something out of nothing.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's just about making you smile, making somebody smile, making somebody feel good, So
and you do carry that.
Hey,
you
I
do carry that. And I just know because we met at CoSpace.
Yeah.
Which is also where we're filming.
Absolutely.
I always like to give a plug and a shout out because CoSpace, if you don't know, it's an amazing co-working and content creation studio. Absolutely. And this is where we're filming and recording our amazing podcast. But I met you at CoSpace, and you came in and you were working on your business, and you were also networking and just being the lovely person that you are.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And in the process of it, because we were talking about what healing means, and you're a barber, and we spoke about how sometimes a lot of people get their healing being in that barbershop.
Yes. I mean, I've been doing this for over a decade, and guys will sit in my chair and they'll tell me about everything, good, bad, funny, and everything in between. And I love it because they're comfortable enough to do that with me and with the barbershops and places I've been at. So it's a beautiful thing. I love being able to give that. I mean, obviously, I'm making you look good.
Right.
So I gotta make you feel good. That's my job. You know what I mean? If I'm just there and I'm not giving you that conversation, that attention that you deserve, what am I doing? I'm not doing my job.
Well, do you feel because when we think of men, sometimes I feel sometimes they may feel like they don't have a safe space for them to just be themselves or just actually have those real conversations.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like a lot of men found that in the barbershop?
Oh, definitely. That's a huge thing for us because we have these conversations in the barbershop and it sounds a little bit like this, and it's all respect though. We'll say, ladies have the hairdresser, the nail tech, the makeup artist, and all these different people to confide in.
Right.
Whereas us men, we just have the barber.
Right.
And that person knows everything about us pretty much. The good, the bad, the in between, the fun nights out, and all that stuff.
Right.
And so, with me being that person, I have to be ready to accept whatever the issue or information is, and make that person feel comfortable.
Right, right. Because, you never know. Somebody could be sitting on that chair and you don't know what day they may have had, while sitting on the chair. I know that a lot of times, when someone is sitting on that chair, you don't realize what they probably could be going through.
That's the truth.
And, sometimes so many things can happen.
Man.
And it's such a responsibility in being a barber because I think you're doing more than just cutting hair.
Absolutely.
you know?
You're really a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You're really a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I read about it on Instagram and other places, but I've kind of learned this just doing it,
Right.
that you are a therapist. And it's like, wow, I'm really taking in some insight to a person and I'm giving them what I think that's kind of therapy like.
Right.
And it's cool though. It's cool, you know, because again, that is our safe space. That is kind of like our only safe space
Right.
in most cases. So, you know, I'll never forget this one time. You know, I'm not gonna reveal everything because of that that safe space. But I saw a client of mine, and they looked a little, you know, they looked a bit different than.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, man, what's going on? And you know, they explained to me what was happening. You know, it was a transition in this, you know, in their situation, in their life situation. And you know, I was like, you know, it's still love, man. It's still love. You know, regardless of what you might be dealing with and how you might be feeling and have been feeling. Right. You know, it's still love here. You know, so you know, shout out to that client, you know, because I want to be very transparent and also respect that person's wishes to not, you know, put them out there like that.
Right.
So,
but it's
salute
still
to them.
love.
Yeah, it's still love.
And
it's
that's
still
what it's all
love.
about. And you always have this energy of showing love. That's who SirJ is.
Yeah.
But before you were a barber, because what was interesting to me, it's like you went through a journey before you became a barber.
Ooh, let me look at my camera right quick. Yes.
You went through a journey. And like, what was the journey before becoming a barber?
Okay.
Like, what led you to that?
Life, and life again. The journey that led me to becoming a barber was a whole lot. So to lay it out, and now I'm on a podcast, so I'm a really, you know, touch the masses.
You're gonna lay it out
right.
on You Are Heard.
Exactly. So hear me. So I got myself in trouble in the Navy. Yeah, I got myself in trouble in the Navy. I was participating with the devil's lettuce, as they say. And the devil's lettuce's smoke or smell reeked on my book bag as I was going to PT. One of the chiefs smelt that,
Right.
and he said, someone smells illegal. Someone's belongings smell illegal, and pretty much I had to just snitch on myself to get myself out.
Right.
I went through all the things, you know, to, I guess, keep myself in, but I was still getting out. You know, I was being sent to Narcotics Anonymous. Yes, Narcotics Anonymous, to talk about these things as if I was a drug addict. And when I got back home, I was homeless. I mean, okay, I live with a couple people, right?
Right.
This one, and I'll make sure I look at my camera. This one so-called best friend of mine, you know, so-called best friend of mine. We was going through some things, and I went through the worst part of my life.
Right.
You know, I went to jail for the first time, and after that, this person kicked me out of the house. You know, and I was like, oh man, okay. You know, so from there, I was homeless, and you know, I then looked to go to a job fair.
Right.
And it was at the Don Shula in Miami Lakes. And my two choices were either being a barber or IT.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I kind of played around with being a barber. So let me go and do this. That was around 2014, spring, summertime. I enrolled and pretty much never stopped. You know, and now, you know, I've been a barber over a decade. And now I'm teaching.
Yes.
I'm teaching the barber game. I'm teaching the industry.
That's wild, because you go through all of that. You had your experience in the military, and then you got back home, and it's like you were from like couch to couch, right?
Yeah.
And you even also experienced like homelessness, where it was to a point where you didn't have a place to stay
At all.
And basically, you were still fighting in a sense of like, okay, I know these are my circumstances. I know these are the challenges that I went through.
It's the truth.
And even though I could give up, because I ain't got nowhere to stay, I'm homeless, even though I can give up, I'm going to still go to this job fair.
Exactly.
And became a whole barber.
A whole barber, a whole business, whole A+ business on the Better Business Bureau.
That's
you
awesome.
dig? Hey, I gotta go ahead and put my plugs out there to let people know because you know what I mean. I appreciate that. You know what I mean for drink champs. You know what I mean. So I appreciate that because I went through a whole lot. The gate incident. For those of us who don't know, I jumped the gate after the age of 30, which was not a smart thing to do. And I was impaled on a wrought iron spiky part of the gate. Ooh. Yes, right in my chest, right in my sternum. Ooh. And I got myself up off the gate. Salute to the military again. Push-ups, upper body strength. Got myself off the gate. Went back in the house. Showed my mom, hey, Mom, this what happened right quick. She was like, are you going to the hospital? I said, no, I got child support to pay. Yeah. I'm like, look, I ain't dying today. That's not happening.
Right.
So she bandaged me up. I got on 2 buses, went from 441 and 199th to 54th and 37th Ave. 2 buses to go and dishwash. This is while I'm still in barber school.
Right.
And of course, we all know the body mechanics of dishwashing. I am not standing up. Right. I am leaning forward.
Right.
After about 2 hours, I am dizzy.
Yes.
I show my supervisor, and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, hey, this is what's wrong. I am bleeding out of my chest. She's like, get out of here. Get back on 2 buses. Get back. I don't have a car at the time.
Right.
Get back on 2 buses. Meet up with my girl. She's at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, one of them by Miami-Dade North Campus. Take the bandages off, re-bandage me again, take me to Jackson North. We already know how long we're going to be sitting at Jackson North. So sitting at Jackson North for a little bit. Right. 7 stitches later, back at work and school the following day.
Right.
I got to go. Ain't no sitting around complaining.
So what I get from you is like you have that determination or that will to just not give up.
Listen.
Or not give in.
Absolutely.
Have you always been like that?
Absolutely. Learning lessons from, going to church. I grew up going to church and learning those lessons knowing that I got warm blood in my veins. I could breathe. My fingers, my arms, and my legs work. I can keep it moving.
Right.
I can make it happen.
Right.
Faith the size of a mustard seed. Hello. So we know the story.
Right.
And so because of those things, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm not gonna sit around here and use words like shoulda, coulda, woulda, hope, wish, can't, try, if.
Right.
And read myself into a new mentality and be different and eat different and watch different things and listen to different things and really mold myself into a different, better person.
Right.
But the optimism, go back to my pops. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He set the example in terms of just never giving up and just still pushing and moving forward.
Yeah, he was always proud of the fact that I was doing what I do. He would come to the shop and get his hair cut and stuff like that. And, it's kind of, I appreciate this interview, first of all. Let me just go ahead and interrupt myself and say that. I appreciate this interview because, at this recording right now, this interview 2 days ago, my father passed. And I gave him his haircut, though. I gave him his haircut the day before, and my brother called me and told me. And, of course, I, broke down. But, hey, Mr. Jesse was fresh.
Right.
Hey, now, one thing, listen, you see me, right?
Yes.
That's where I get it from.
Right.
That stay fresh, stay fly, call me blue cheese because I stay dressing. Because that's, you know what I mean? It come from the old boy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That it don't fade. That ain't gonna never fade. You understand me?
Yes.
Hey, you heard the word from Serge, you did. So look, I want this to be a real big thing. I want us to continue to do this right here, man.
Yes,
so
we will.
Yeah.
We will. And your father is proud of you. I know he is proud of you. Just even you being able to give him that haircut. Because just to think there was a moment where you probably didn't have it figured out or you didn't have the answers. And he was able to witness you be the man that he knows you to be and still push forward.
Yeah.
So because of that, you are an inspiration. You have this model where you're always like, remember to be great.
Hey, you got to be great.
I have your stickers and your shirt,
I appreciate
and
it.
you always reminding us to remember to be great.
You have to.
And your father left that imprint in you.
Yes. Yes, you have to be great because there's no reason to not be great. You know what I mean? First of all, look at my skin. Look at our skin. Look at my hair. Look at our hair. We are great.
Yes.
And so with that and everything that I mentioned before about growing up in the church and stuff like that, yes. Yes, I have to be great.
Right. and I love that. And not only that, because of the things that you've experienced, because you've also said that like you've experienced homelessness, you also do things for the community, for
Absolutely.
The guys that are homeless. I remember I did an activity with Mebony Gardening,
Yes.
where we were feeding the homeless, and you were there giving them fresh haircuts.
Man, you better know it because that's just something I like to do.
Right.
Yes, I've experienced homelessness myself, but with my practice, it's one simple thing that I could do, make them look good and then thus feel good.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't have any problem at all in doing that and helping you out in that. And also that same year, I helped out Carol from Place of Aroma.
Yes.
Her
products are amazing, by the way.
Absolutely, you better get those candles, and to smell good and everything else. Shameless plug,
Yes.
but no, like I don't mind doing that. I love doing it, and even with the school that I work at, the Barbering Academy, we go to Rescue Mission, we go to Chapman Partnership, Camilla's house, and many other places to give the residents their haircuts to make them feel good, And then even out of my own, I give my clothes and my shoes and stuff like that because of Feed a Brother Foundation, my charity that I have.
Yes.
Because it's all about feeding a brother, understand what I'm saying with that. And so that's what it's mainly about, to help the brothers going through life situations, whether it be homelessness or mental issues or joblessness or things of that nature. That's what Feed a Brother Foundation is about. And I willingly give my clothes and shoes, to those brothers because, it says somewhere in the good book, if you got an abundance, you got to give to someone else who, I'm paraphrasing. I know I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it is. Right. And I don't have a problem in doing that at all, so.
And I love that. So not only do people get healing by sitting on the barber chair and having somebody like you that can relate to them, but it's like just having that desire to want to send off that energy like, hey, I got your back. If you need food, if you need a haircut, if you need a job, because I've experienced it myself, I have this organization that can assist you.
Absolutely.
I mean, Serge, we can go on and on
We
and
really
on.
can. We really can. Yeah.
But, I do want to thank you so much for being on this podcast. You Are Heard podcast. Like, the world needs to see more people like you. And that's the whole goal. It's like you are living within your purpose. Even though there were challenges that you faced along the way, that fight and that desire to know there's more for me.
Absolutely.
And to being a barber, to having your nonprofit organization, to even teaching other students how to be a barber too. Absolutely. It's like you're living within your purpose. Absolutely. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for you sharing your story.
Thank you.
Now, if someone needed to contact you or connect with you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Of course. I am, of course, on Instagram at the one SirJDaBarber. My website is SirJDaBarber.com. That's SirJ, SirJDaBarber.com. You can also find me, you can leave me a review on the Better Business Bureau website. Look up Exclusive Tonsorial Services. That is Exclusive Tonsorial Services, absolutely, LLC. Look that up. Leave me a review. And if you want your services at your home, reach out. SirJDaBarber, Exclusive Tonsorial Services. I am your premium concierge, mobile barber and grooming specialist that will come to you at any time when you need it. I had to do that for Joy. I had to. So appreciate it.
Yes. And Joy, by the way, if you all don't know, because I brag about this amazing space called CoSpace, which is an amazing co-working and content creation studio. This is where we're recording our podcast.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited. I mean, Joy is that girl. We
Yes.
gonna do an interview with Joy now.
Yes.
You gonna know who Joy is.
Yes. Y'all better know that.
Yes. She is the founder of Cold Space. She's amazing.
Yeah.
But it sucks that I have to end this interview
It's all right.
now.
It's all right. It's all right.
But Serge, I want to thank you so much for being on the You Are Heard podcast, because this is where we believe that healing starts with being heard. And just thank you for sharing your story and living within your purpose.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all. See you on the next episode.
Y'all be great.